Hello. I haven't filmed for a really long time, so I thought I would film this video because I'm about to make three big batches of Nordic cedar soap. So I came in on Saturday to make my little pan cones. Pan cones, they look like this. So they are going to go on the top of this. The base is going to be white, and then I've got two contrasting colours. So we've got a golden brown and pistachio mica from Mica Mama. Goggles on. I'm going to just pour the lye. So you see the size of this bucket here. This is a 20 litre bucket, and we're going to do our best to make it in here. So I thought let's do a really big batch on camera. You can see how it gets made. Last year I think I only did a small batch of this and it sold out in record time, so I thought this year let's do 3 big blocks and we'll get like 90 bars. 90 bars made, so that's what we're doing today. Just going to leave that there. So I'm going to stick blend this, which is going to probably take quite some time. So I'm going to turn the camera off and come back while I do that. Okay, it's emulsified, so I'm going to pour off my 2 colours into these and then we'll get the white in there in a minute. So I'm using my KitchenAid stick blender today because it's much larger. Just going to bring that over there a minute. And I'm going to use a jug to get this out of here, otherwise we're going to... Okay, sorry about that, my battery just ran out. I think it was a battery. Okay, just going to get these in there. So we've got to fill 3 moulds, so I'm going to need probably a full amount in these. Just want a nice swirl in there. So make a nice mess. And then we'll have a catch up as I go, because I've not been filming anything for YouTube for, it's been several months. I think just come to the end of the summer now and summer's been busy. I've not actually taken a break from work at all for months. So I'm due a break before Christmas kicks off, I think. So I'm just going to get the Christmas soaps made and then I will take a breather. And I've got my sister with me at the minute, Natalie. She's back because she needed some hours. So she's working here. She's doing things like making up bases for me and things like that. So yeah, that's nice to have some help. Okay, I'm going to put these colours in. So we're using golden brown and pistachio. Okay, I'm not actually going to stick blend those colours yet, just in case they thicken, which can happen sometimes. I think I've seen that green go. It just depends on the fragrance, but I don't want to risk it because we're doing 3 large batches. White base in first. So we've got 3 of these. So here's my fragrance. I'm just going to put it into here and then we'll reserve a bit back for the other 2 colours. I'm just going to stir it. Okay, just go steady to start with, and then we'll do the rest. Yeah. Start making our way back down. Just eyeballing those layers to make sure we don't end up with too much in one and not enough in another. It's pretty good. Pretty dang good, I think. scrape that out in a minute. So let's do the brown. We'll do some high pours. An eyeball where we're going. Don't put too much. Okay, and the last one. I'm going to need some for the top because we're going to want some slight swirlage on the tops of these. So I'll just do that now. You know, we're dealing with 90 bars of soap here, so I don't want any cock-ups. Working with you is they move your things. My sister last week, I put my pine cone mould ready to do my embeds for Saturday on the side, and she'd gone and put it away, so I was thinking I'm sure I put that somewhere. So it can be a bit of a pain because she's doing like what she thinks she should be doing, putting stuff away, and I'm like, where's that gone? It's been nice having her here. And there we go. Okay, so that's swirled inside. Now we're going to just do some swirls on the top before we do the embeds. Like that. Okay, let's get a bit of green as well, just going on in there. And this one's a bit more like a Jackson Pollock painting than the other two. Just do figure of eights. Yeah, you'd think being in the game this long that I would have a lot more followers. It doesn't equate to sales, obviously, it never does, no matter how many more people you get, but, well, it does, but it's not the be-all end-all like a newsletter is then for me, really. That's where my sales come from. There's people who've been buying from me for years, but yeah, trying to get it to grow. Facebook's probably better. I don't know what it is about Instagram, I don't know what people are looking for on there, you know. I look at the For You page on Instagram when I go on there. I don't rarely, like I rarely scroll. I'll go on the For You page and scroll along there because I'm just there for the funnies myself. I'm not really interested in anything else, to be honest. Right, we're going to put our embeds on, our pine cones. So if I bring you this side, you might be able to see a bit better. Okay, I think I've got it right now. I'm just in the, sort of in the wrong place there for a second. 3, 4, 5, Okay, it's the next day, so we're going to get ready to cut this. So I'm just going to cut one loaf because cutting 3 would be rather daft, don't you say? Don't you think? Don't you say? Just cut one because we don't need to cut all 3. They're all the same. Let's just see what they come out like. I'm trying to do this. I've got Natalie, my sister, coming in today, so I've come in earlier than usual to ensure that I get my video finished before she comes in, because otherwise, hold on a sec, I'm not bring you up a bit. I'm not so good when someone else is in the room if I've got to film a video. It's not quite the same, is it? Because there's someone else in the room and there's another energy. Anyway, let's cut this into loaves and then into bars. So I was going to have a chat about things, but let me have a sip of coffee. There's been so much stuff happening in the world that it's hard to know where to begin or even talk about anything that is relevant, because there's so much stuff. And in the past week I found myself retreating from even looking at social media as much, because it's just full of shit, you know. Like, there's just so much that's happened over the course of this year, and the world's, we've said this for the last decade, the world's gone nuts, but it really has gone nuts. It really has gone nuts. I was thinking about, like, all the politicians, which I just hate them all, by the way. I don't vote. I don't pay too much attention to what's being said or done, because I just hate them. I hate being ruled. I hate being controlled. I hate that they have a say in every single thing that happens, especially here in the UK at the moment. So I do know, you know, obviously snippets about what they're trying to do. But I'm one of those people that will turn a blind eye and turn my back on it all and just live my life anyway, because in my day-to-day life, they're not really having an impact unless I watch it and let them. So I just veer away from all of that stuff. And then there's all the American stuff. There's the Charlie Kirk stuff, the Charlie Kirk's wife stuff, which I watched and thought, there's something not right there. Yeah, there's just so many things. Alien invasions, TikTok conspiracies. There's just too much. So recently I have been watching stuff on Netflix. I've been listening to my books again. I think I said this in my last videos, but doing my best to turn my back on the mainstream crap that keeps continuously pumping into our feeds. And I just think I'd rather just turn my phone off at this point, because I don't want to be like, I don't want to have that like horrible, oh, the world's an awful place, because the world isn't an awful place. The world's a very big place. And it depends what you focus on. If you focus on all the bad, then you're just going to be reflected back all the bad. So I'm trying to focus on the good and enjoy the seasons, because at the minute it's everybody's favourite, you know, it's October. Anyway, I won't ramble too much, but that's where my head's at. And it's always nice to have a catch up on here, because that's what it's all about. But yeah, I don't want to go in too deep about any one subject, because I am naive and I don't know. I'm not informed enough about stuff, because I haven't made my mind up about certain things. I don't want to. So, you know, there you go. So I just keep pushing out my products, enjoying the process, and yeah, just enjoying my little space here down the alleyway. So, finish my coffee. That's where we're at. Feel free to sound off in the comments all you like, but yeah, I'm not paying this stuff any mind anymore. I don't want to know. People are vile. And people are so nasty to each other with different opinions, and all those opinions are just formed on, here we go, are just formed on what that person sees in that day and what resonates with them. So it creates immediately a different opinion to somebody else, you know, because they're watching something else and their narrative is then different. So you can't win. Doesn't matter what you think, or, you know, there's no sides with me. I'm not taking sides because I don't like any of them. I just don't. It's just a waste of time. And I think everybody should be free to think what they want and do what they want, you know, within reason. Obviously not killing people and things like that, but you know, it's it should be a free world. But unfortunately it isn't, and it's ruled by war, and that's never a good thing. Okay, so we've got these lovely soaps here to look at. There's the top of these chunky ones. Yeah. I'm just going to cut the sides off those because those would be my samples. So let's grab our single wire cutter. Somebody asked me, I can't remember if I mentioned this, somebody asked me, I think it was on Instagram, you need to get yourself a multi-bar cutter. And I was like, I have got a multi-bar cutter, but I prefer these single wire cutters for this particular soap because I haven't got a soap cutter that cuts the width that I want of these ones. So that's why I've got this one. Okay, so ooh, we might have to do two sides on this one. Okay, let me just figure that out. Okay, looks about right. Okay, so that's about the size that I stock. So they come in about 150. There you go. About 150 to 160 grams. I'll try and get them about 150. That's better. Well, that comes a bit off centre, but never mind. I wasn't thinking when I put those on yesterday. Not properly anyway. But it won't matter because they're samples. So, there we go. Right, let's get the loaves done and I'll come back and do those afterwards. Oh, my hair. I cut my, had my hair cut off at the start of the summer. And yeah, I like it much better in a bob. It's so much easier to cope with, but my fringe obviously getting in my face. And I'm not going to wear a grip. Wear a grip. Okay, I'm really, really hot. I'm just going to take a layer off. Bear with me a minute, I'm too hot. Okay, that's better. I've got my fan on as well now. So I've got the heating on and a fan on. That's menopause. There's another story, but we won't go there either. It's been a little tricky. Just getting older. I'm 52 now, can you believe that? I don't feel 52. But sometimes my body does. It's just aches and pains that were never there before. I can remember years ago, my mum, you know, shuffling about, and I used to always say she sounded like E.T. in the night where her feet would like shuffle across the landing when she'd get up for the loo in the middle of the night. And I used to be like, my God, you sound like E.T., like shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And we always used to laugh, and she said, you wait till you get old. And I was like, can't imagine ever feeling that much in pain, but oh, it happens. It happens and it gets you quite quick, you know. When you hit a certain age, then certain things start happening and you're like, oh, there it is. Just get that lined up. Right. Yeah, so sometimes they'll be like that. This camera can be really, really annoying sometimes. There we go. These are lovely. The smell when I came in here this morning was like heaven on earth. Lovely, lovely scent of the forest. That's nice. If it'll bloody focus. What is wrong with this thing? Honestly, I've had trouble with this for... There we go. Yeah, I've been having some troubles with this blooming camera. It's still a really good camera, but sometimes it likes to play up when you want to showcase a product. Oh, anyway, these do look good. And they look even nicer when they're all trimmed up nice. So we're going to be working on Christmas stock this week. That's Natalie's coming in to make hair conditioner. We've got to make the body creams for Christmas and all of the whip soaps. So we're going to probably start whip soaps today because my hair conditioner has aloe vera juice in it and I've realised that I'd run out. So I've got the tiniest bit left. It won't be enough to do a batch. So we'll do something else today. And then we'll see here, we'll just have a think about what else can be done. I'll cut the last one. And then next time, I can talk about what I watched on Netflix. I watched the Ed Gein thing, that whole debacle. That was kind of horrific. It wasn't kind of horrific, it was horrific. So I did watch it, but I watched it at work, so I had it on in the background because I think if I'd watched it at home I'd be too focusing on the screen. So having it on in the background, I was sort of listening and only catching parts of the actual video, you know, or film. So that was that. Yeah, not really a lot to say about Ed Gein, other than, geez, you know, that was really horrid. What else have I been doing? Reading a book. I've got another book that a friend bought for me called The Golem and the Ginny, and Golem spelled G-O-L-E-M. If you look that up you'll find out what one is, and I'm absolutely loving reading that at the moment. It's a big book and a big epic tale, and I'm about a third of the way in. This friend of mine, she reads constantly, and I think she probably would get through a book like that in a week. Whereas with me it can take like several weeks. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my autumn read. And I've been reading a lot of Frida McFadden books. They're always fun for something quick and easy to get stuck into. So that's that batch of soap done. Yeah, to be honest, I've had a bit of a funny year. I've not had a break. I still haven't had a holiday. And then we've gone through the summer, which is a beautiful summer this year. It was so hot. And then, yeah, the autumn's here. My business has been ticking along wonderfully. It's been really, really good. So I've shut the shop, actually, because there's not a lot of footfall where I am. And mail order is the mainstay of this business. So I thought if I focus all my energies into where the money actually comes from and where my customers actually are, rather than trying to rely on an open shop, it just doesn't work in the town that I'm in. It's a very... it looks poor here at the moment. It's not a very good place to come and visit. There's just not a lot on offer, other than the park and the Abbey grounds, which are nice. But the town, there's like no good shops. It's just naff, you know. So where I am, it doesn't make sense for me to have an open shop and put energy there when nobody comes in. So I thought I'm going to shut shop, do mail order. They can come like by appointment. So my regular customers that do come can come in, you know, knock a window and come in. But as for footfall, I just thought I'm going to take the stress off myself and just close this shop because it's driving me actually bonkers. And once I did that, I was so relieved because it meant every morning I could come in and make product. So when you run a shop and your workshop's in the shop, you can't be making soap and having people coming in with children, you know what I mean? So it was always make in the afternoon and pack orders and do other stuff in the mornings. But it was like I couldn't get enough product made because I only had like a 3-4 hour window in the afternoon. So shutting the doors, it was like, oh my God, no brainer. I'm free now to do what I need to do in the morning, in fact all day. So yeah, it's been great, and it's made a massive difference to sales because the product's there, you know. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm not complaining about any of this, it's just that it can be bloody hard to work for yourself and make a success, you know, and it takes time. But if you're looking into doing this for a living or doing something creative for a living, I say go for it. And there is help out there if you need it, but yeah, that's where we're at. So I will love and leave you, and I'll be back for the next video. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm making loads of different little, so it's my remote, different soaps for Christmas, but yeah, I'll show the process every now and again of the ones that are worth filming, because this was a lovely soap to film. So I'll see you soon. Okay, ta-ta.
yeah, that was the first part of the year, and then we've gone through the summer, which is a beautiful summer this year. It was so hot, and then yeah, the autumn's here. We will eventually get back on our feet, but we're just going through the motions at the moment of being really frugal, really careful. So every penny counts at the moment. My business has been ticking along wonderfully. It's been really, really good. So I've shut the shop actually because there's not a lot of footfall where I am. And mail order is the mainstay of this business. So I thought if I focus all my energies into where the money actually comes from and where my customers actually are, rather than trying to rely on an open shop, it just doesn't work in the town that I'm in. It's a very, it looks poor here at the moment. It's not a very good place to come and visit. There's just not a lot on offer. Other than the park and the Abbey grounds, which are nice, but the town, there's like no good shops. It's just naff, you know. So where I am, it doesn't make sense for me to have an open shop and put energy there when nobody comes in. So I thought I'm going to shut shop, do mail order. They can come like by appointment. So my regular customers that do come can come in, you know, knock a window and come in. But as for footfall, I just thought I'm going to take the stress off myself and just close this shop because it's driving me actually bonkers. And once I did that, I was so relieved because it meant every morning I could come in and make product. So when you run a shop and your workshop's in the shop, you can't be making soap and having people coming in with children, you know what I mean? So it was always make in the afternoon and pack orders and do other stuff in the mornings. But it was like I couldn't get enough product made because I only had like a 3-4 hour window in the afternoon. So shutting the doors, it was like, oh my God, no brainer. I'm free now to do what I need to do in the morning, in fact all day. So yeah, it's been great, and it's made a massive difference to sales because the product's there, you know. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm not complaining about any of this. It's just that it can be bloody hard to work for yourself and make a success, you know, and it takes time. But if you're looking into doing this for a living or doing something creative for a living, I say go for it. And there is help out there if you need it, but yeah, that's where we're at. So I will love and leave you, and I'll be back for the next video. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm making loads of different little, so it's my remote, different soaps for Christmas, but yeah, I'll show the process every now and again of the ones that are worth filming, because this was a lovely soap to film. So I'll see you soon. Okay, ta-ta.